Hello, and welcome to Pillars of Eternity II Deadfire. Today I'll be creating a new character and using a random number generator to choose most of my stuff. Here's hoping things go well. Okay, we'll play on Classic. Okay, and start.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Game over.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep, lifting the curse. Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. Maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my God came back, he would forgive us. That's the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
So you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
Okay, and that's basically the important points from the first game that have no effect on what your choices were. Just a second, checking. Okay, everything's okay on this end.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Sit, please. Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in.
And what I like about this game is whenever there's like something you should know, they have the words in a different color and you can read more about it. Cadnua was the castle that we had taken control of.
A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She's preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Okay, the first randomizer. So there's 6 of them. I really hope I don't get 6. Three. Survival of the fittest. You use the souls of the Hallborn to strengthen the Deerwood. As you pledge to Gawain, most other choices were made to strengthen you and your allies by punishing and weakening your enemies. I think I can roleplay that.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bera. One half anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge.
And Burath is the god of death, cycles, doorways, morality, and inevitability. Keeper of the cycle of life and death, Breath is thought to seek to claim the lives of those who have lived past their time. According to folklore, Breath is seen most often in the form of a pallid knight or the usher, 2 skeletal characters who lead such people to their deaths by way of challenge or trickery.
The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
And anytime there's something like this in front of words, it means it's because of a decision you have made. In this case, this emblem means it's choices I made in the first game. I spoke with the other gods in the Hall of Stars and pledged myself to them.
You did.
She places a card on the table, showing a tall tower with the gods' constellations arrayed around it in the sky. She places a card in the middle of the arrangement, a bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothis. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are.
Aothis is the god of rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring, and light, traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown, believed to have possessed the body of a Redigan farmer, Wildwind, during the Saints' War and was destroyed along with Wildwind at the end of the war. He recently reformed his essence in the statue of Mardos Nuda beneath Catanua. In the process of pulling himself from the endless paths, he destroyed your castle and left the Watcher at the brink of death.
Though Aothis stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between.
The in-between refers to the shadow world that souls briefly wander after death on their way to the beyond, as described as a hazy landscape empty but for the glow of other souls, Audra, and Watchers. This is the space that Watchers peer into when they observe and speak to lost souls and soul fragments. Even gods cannot reach it.
You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced Watcher to find him.
Okay, out of the choices, Why don't you just do it yourself?
Taking a physical form in Aora is fraught with peril. Most mortal minds and bodies are incapable of containing divine power. It can lead to problems, as Aethys learned not long ago.
Her armored hand gingerly places a card sideways on the table. It features a man with a burst of light instead of a head.
I think I'll go with number 1. Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people
I know.
around it.
It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnoa and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Aethys still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
Then let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life and death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Okay, are we going to be female or male? And male. Okay. Next, we're going to be Amanua. There we go. The little, giants that tend to have affinity for the sea and the lake. Standard dwarf. Don't know why the game is chugging. Elves. Now, godlikes are an interesting race. There's several variety of them. And they do special effects sometimes when they get low health and all that. Human and Orlean are basically hobbits with fur. And 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Godlike. Okay. Godlike are children of the Kith, also known as civilized races, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take forms and often come with mystical powers, albeit head shapes that are typical and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unnatural nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Get 1 dexterity and intellect. One great aspect of this game is everything is a trade-off. And everything does something, so there are no dumb stats. Okay, what godlike are we going to be? Let's go. There's the nature godlike. The moon godlike. Fire godlike. And the death godlike. There are other godlikes. One companion in the first game was a bird godlike. She had feathers and everything. 4. Nature godlike. They get the wellspring of life. Souls of nature godlike respond powerfully to inspiration. When a nature godlike is under the direct effects of any might, constitution, or dexterity inspiration, they may benefit from an increased power level. Basically, so increased power level basically is how powerful you are. So getting increased means you're basically going up a level in terms of abilities and stuff. And what body type do we have? A Manua would normally be a tall one. I think I'm going to multi-class. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 classes. And they range from the Barbarian, the Chanter, the Cipher, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Priest, Ranger, Rogue, and Wizard. I'll get more into them as we choose them. So the number is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A Druid. Their major role is crowd control. Focuses on crowd control can inflict heavy damage or negative effects on groups of enemies. And their minor role is support and striker. Support means you can do defensive bonuses, healing, or protective wards. And striker is large amounts of damage and crippling afflictions to single targets. My resource is nature spells. I will have a limited number of spells used in combat per spell level. Outside of combats, a druid spell uses are restored, ready for the next encounter. That is a change from the first game where it was per rest, and yeah, that got annoying quickly. Animalists at heart, druids tap into spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Aurora, plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, druids do have a reserve for the natural world and keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, druids are understood as sort of a primal magician, but among Glenfathans, Nazgûltai, and many rural cultures, they have a high positions and influence and authority. So we get one in metaphysics, which deals with animancy, Aldra and the Wield, survival, explosions, alchemy, and religion. So multi-classing, the bonuses will be averaged. Next. Okay, and what type of druid are we going to be? This is also new to the second game, being able to specialize right away and get special bonuses. 3. Life Giver. While not pacifist, Life Giver groves tend to be most peaceful gatherings of druids. They focus heavily on healing magic but lack the ability to summon allies. They are commonly found in rural communities where feuds and tempers run high, such as the Deerwood. Bonuses I get will be rejuvenation spells cast with an increased power level. While shape-shifted, the druid's power level bonus to rejuvenation spells is greatly increased. So if I shape-shift, I can do rejuvenation spells even better. And I will automatically learn these spells upon level up. Penalty: I cannot cast creature summon spells. After shapeshift, the druid receives a significant penalty to the power level of the rejuvenation spells until combat ends. Let's take a quick look at the tree. Okay, so I won't be able to do summons, which typically are the blights. Might be a couple other ones. But okay, I also abilities. Charm Beast. I think I'll go with Charm Beast. While not necessarily useful in a lot of situations, it might be able to get a enemy beast off of us for some time. It utilizes their innate connection with the natural world to charm enemy animals in the area of effect. It's loud and loud. And shapeshift. So we can, let's see which one we are going to be. 3. Shapeshift of the wolf. Draws upon the natural connection of the wolf, temporarily allowing them to assume that form. The wolf's spirit shift moves quickly and has an attack that can knock enemies prone. Prone means they'll, if they're lying on their back, will get a penalty to saves and have to regain their footing. And second class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A ranger, so the combined classes will be a Beastmaster. Its major role is a striker, so dealing damage to single targets, and defender, being able to take large amounts of punishment. My resources bond. And that's if I want to do anything with my animal companion. Rangers are warriors of the woodlands and master of the hunt, always parted with the soul-bound animal companions they have found in wild spaces all over the world. As the lifestyles often tend towards independence and isolation, it is rare for rangers to become an integral part of a large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides on diplomacy, survival, alchemy, stealth, and bluff. Wow, these actually kind of go well, at least lore-wise, being a druid and ranger. And got 2, so Ghost Heart. Ghost Hearts are rangers whose animal companions has died, but remain in the in-between as spirits that serve their masters. Ghost Hearts can be summoned their spirit companion for combat for a limited duration. Bonus, immune to bond grief. This is a penalty you get if either you or your companion or your animal companion end up being knocked unconscious in a fight. Really bad debuff. We kind of had to add that in because this class was broken at the start of Pillars of Eternity. And the animal companion is immune to engagement, so it can go wherever I want it to without prompting attacks of opportunity. I must actively summon the companion in battle. It costs bound and has a duration. The companion is considered a spirit and is affected by spirit targeting powers, and the animal companion cannot be healed. So I can learn a couple abilities. Don't think I'll learn these. Okay, I'm going to take Wounded Shot, because raw damage, there is no defense against raw damage. You take the damage. And what type of companion will I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That is the timer I set. I underestimated how long it's going to take to complete a character, so this is just going to be a longer episode. Probably... There we go. 5. Antelope. Cause the ghost of your antelope companion to manifest in battle and aid your party. Antelopes have naturally superior defenses. Okay. For deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. What shall we name our animal companion? Let's go with Solar. And if it's spelled wrong, I'm pretty sure it is. I do not care. Okay. Now, points. Like I said, there is no dump stat, and everything will be useful to a point. But they do have preferability. Recommended, recommended, recommended. So I'm just going to dump 3 into each of the recommended stats. Okay, and which ones do I want to do? Dexterity, action speed. I'm going to put 2 into perception. And going from collection where I strengthen myself, allies, and weaken enemies. Perception, and probably put 1 in might. Okay, where am I from? Like 7 to the swear I have a random number generator. The Deadfire archipelago marks the eastern edge of the known world, dominantly populated by island Anua, who make up the tribes of the Huana. The chain of hundreds of islands spans thousands of miles. The Deadfire contains a myriad of climates, biomes that are home to a bewildering amount of creatures. Last century has brought ambitious colonial traders, explorers, and pirates to Deadfire, but travel east of the archipelago is blocked by a major destructive storms of Andra's mortar. Andra is the god of the sea, forgotten things, loss, relentlessness, and mourning. Legends among the Huana speak of an ancient cataclysm that devastated their people thousands of years ago. Details of the event have been lost to time, but Huana storytellers claim that it destroyed everything that they had built, sinking even the greatest of their cities beneath the waves. We get 1 to dexterity. And what was my job there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was a mercenary. Streetwise athletics and intimidate. Blade and battle are all your way of life. You may solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Okay, I'm going to select by category. 6. So for our first weapon, we have a bow. Well, some type of bow. There's 4 of them. Two, crossbow, interrupting shot. Now this is important. Proficiently in a weapon or shield grants additional model ability, which is can be turned on and off with the associated item. These abilities are situation will be battle. There's no penalty for using a weapon without the corresponding proficiency. This is also different from the first game. crossbows get interrupting shot. Player takes careful aim to cause the maximum impact with crossbow. Hits interrupt target, which means they have to start their action again, because most actions take some amount of time to ready. Perfectly effective against spellcasters. Now, let's see, crossbows do penetration damage. Pierce damage. So, I'm going to do this again, but if I come up with a weapon that has pierce damage, I will veto it, because having weapon types of different damage types is critical. And when I've played this game, if you came across something with my party, it was immune to pierce damage. Everyone in my party except for one did pierce damage. Yeah, that did not end well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one-handed. Okay, and I got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spear. Pierce. Kind of like the spears. Go slash. Well, actually, since it's a ranged weapon and a close-up weapon, it might not make a difference. Well, this is the one I chose, and I said I'd do it, so I've got a saber and a crossbow, and my picture. Let's choose my head first, then we'll go with the portrait. 1, head 2. I think I'll go with the horns versus the branches, and kind of scruffy looking. Kind of remind me of pictures I've seen of Blackbeard. Okay, portrait, so I will probably go with this one. What colors do I want to have? Let's go with a kind of darker green with secondary light brown. Skin, I've only got one color choice. Hair, let's go with light and okay, that looks kind of better. And the eyes. I'll leave the eyes. Voice. Let's go with noble. Okay, and pose. Let's go with go with average. And my name, Luna. Okay.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
I do like the fact you can see all the souls wandering about. You can tell they put a lot of work into this and that they really enjoyed doing it. You sense the steward spirit in the bust, but she's unaware of you. Goosebumps rise on Elendir's arms as you approach, but he seems aware of your presence.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Since I'm kind of strengthening myself and allies, probably don't want to portray weakness to them, so I'll just go with alive.
Alive's a big improvement.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back.
I know.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortune's brewing topside. Magrans fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
Okay. We want all this in my inventory.
Alright, now make some use of it.
Okay.
The pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
Well, what have we here? A little sloop? Lost and alone in the storm?
A surly Brutus-looking captain stands stiff back before his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping about his ears in the wind.
I'll be taking your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do.
Well, at least he asked.
I am a gentleman of fortune.
Captain shrugs in the sheeting rain before pointing you with a slow, murderous grin.
Give her up easy, and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonizing, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
I'll go with this one, since it's because I'm a mercenary. Must be nice to get paid to talk so much.
And you're the one who'll be paying me. Ain't that just lovely? Listen up, mates.
He cracks his neck as he addresses his crew.
I'm off to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharper teeth like. I'm trusting you lot not to cop this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it. Play with the crew if you'd like, but don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
You had bandwidth! Off!
There we go, enter combat.
Defend the ship!
I'll switch. Let's see, Ranger, Druid, aggressive. Aggressive, likely shapeshift. Druid's not an attacker. Yep. He's cautious. Let's read the difference between Ranger and Shot. Your companion. Okay. There might be some up here, yeah. They're not left. Okay, and he's gone. Okay, I got my butt kicked in the tutorial battle. That's nice. You've defeated the pirates, but you're now out of trouble yet. Storm picks up, lashing your ship and driving dangerously close to a rocky shore. The Defiant's crew hurries to reduce sail and batten down the hatches. They work quickly, but the ship is still listing heavily. Just then, a loose crate stumbles towards you, gathering speed on the rain-slicked deck. It misses you, but knocks Chipek, one of your deckhands, off his feet. The Defiant heaves, and Chipek pitches over the side. He grabs onto the railing, but his fingers are slippy and cries out for help. Meanwhile, the runaway crate detacher stretches the edge of the deck and ready to plunge overboard. You recognize the symbol on the front and realize this likely contains salvage from Katanua, your keep. Rescue Chipek. Grab Chipek's arm just as his grip fails. For a tense moment, he hangs suspended over the railing of the sea. With a mighty tug, you pull him back onto the deck. You hear a heavy splash. The crate from Katanua is gone. Chipek, meanwhile, nods in gratitude and hurries to his station. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you ashore. A flash of lightning reveals a treacherous coastline and Aethys standing in the distance. Lookout barely has time to shout a warning before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and onto the froth of the waves, bodies and splintering debris. You struggle towards the beach just ahead, even as the surf tugs you towards the open sea. You kick paddle with all your might until at last you feel sand between your fingers. Pulling yourself ashore, you collapse.
Getting a lot of sleep so far on this trip. I'd have woke you, but you look so peaceful with your face in the sand.
Eldir runs his fingers through his hair and removes a strand of seaweed he finds lodged there. He examines it closely, then tosses it into the sand.
If you're worried about the ship, you can stop worrying. It's wrecked right over there.
Points out the Defiant, despite it being difficult to miss from your vantage point.
So far, it's just you and me and the chair lady over there.
He nods towards something further up the beach.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lord. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
Your steward appears to be lodged between some rocks. Despite this, her tone is warmly cheerful. Ugh, what happened? Where are we? Or I hate boats.
Shh. It's right behind you.
Unfortunately, I believe we'll be needing the Defiant yet. Unless you mean to settle down on the island for good.
Well, there's a thought.
Can we patch up the ship?
I'm afraid I won't be much assistance in that regard. And not to doubt Master Adair's capacity, but even he would need supplies.
That's true. Steak, especially.
Patching the hull is only the start. You're going to need help getting the Defiant out to sea again. And a crew, for that matter.
Let's see about the other survivors. And somehow we gotta get the ship repaired. I don't want to be paddling out of here on a salvage raft.
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lord, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
Probably this one. My soul passed into the beyond, and breath gave me a choice. Find Aethys or die.
These gods. You make one deal with them to stop a madman, and the next thing you know, they're threatening your soul.
That isn't much of a choice. But castle or no castle, you are still my lord, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
Well, I suppose we better get a move on.
Let's go. Let's have him as a swashbuckler, fighter, and rogue. And there we go. I got an injury for falling in combat, gaping wound, minus 25% healing received, and minus 15 max health. If you get 4 without resting, that character is dead. And you can see him is injured, so he's kind of hobbling. I think that's going to be it for today. We'll start this again tomorrow from here. Remember to rate and comment. And remember always... Whoops, wrong button. Remember, as always, who's awesome? You're awesome.